All right, so the pump's out of the car. So what you have to do is pull this bottom piece off here, and that will give you access to this float, the barrel and float. And then these 6 holes here are gonna go here on this piece. It's held on by one of these Allen bolts, and then there's a nut underneath here. So we got to attach that now. Just like that, this is on. So next, what I believe we're gonna do is we're gonna have to cut these and then splice them into these two. That way our fuel float works. Side note, I did put it on backwards, so I did flip it back over, so the float should obviously be facing down. And you can see our float is on, so now we are going to wire this in and hopefully drop this in the car here in just a second. All right, I know it's loud because we're outside, but like I said, I cut the ends of these 2 wires off. I'm gonna pull the ends off with these wire cutters, and then we're gonna go ahead and attach them in here. My thought process is if I plug this in and the float doesn't work, then I'll just pull the main harness off and then repin it off the main harness. Super fast merch plug. We got logo shirts and outline shirts. 100% of the profits off these shirts get sent to military folks in need. 20 bucks a shirt shipped to you guys. So make sure you guys either comment or throw me an email and I can get these sent to you. Here's a pro tip. I don't have one of the fancy AN contraptions or a vise. So what I did was I just dropped this wrench inside of the jack stand, and then that holds it in place so I can put the AN wrench on this side, turn it to tighten it down. So it seems to be working pretty well. And next on our to-do list is gonna be this fuel pressure regulator. So it's gonna be from the tank in and then out to the motor. And then this will be the return out. We still need to get our vacuum line and we still need to get a fuel pressure gauge, but we're gonna go ahead and start mocking this up in the car. I think I'm gonna hide this inside of the cabin filter box too. I think like somewhere about here. And then what I'll do is I'll make some kind of like metal bracket to sandwich it behind it just to make it a little bit more sturdy. But I already cut some of this out to be able to run our lines. So I think once we get a good idea on where this is gonna get mounted, we're gonna go ahead and pull the line over here from the fuel rail to this, and then we're gonna cut it and then see if we can't get this clamped in there. So I just put a self-tapper in there. Obviously it's gonna be temporary, but just to give me an idea on where all these fittings are gonna sit. And then I'll go through, put my tape over here, and then make my Sharpie line, pull this back a little, make the cut, and then put it here in this fitting. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start on this side of the feed. Okie dokie. So you can see I kind of pulled some of this away way down in there because the regulator is gonna hang out a little bit. So it should shoot straight through. And then, like I said, through the hole. And then what we'll do is we'll punch a hole in here and then one on the other side and run it just like our water lines. Next, we're gonna run this fuel filter. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it like right here, right after the opening, which should actually pop us up about right there. So we're gonna go ahead and get our drill and punch that hole. right, so the filter is just loosely mounted here, just with this one bolt, just so I can start getting an idea on where all this stuff's gonna be placed. And then next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this bracket, this is for the flex fuel sensor, but it won't go in the factory location because with all the AN fittings, it's so much bigger. So what I'm thinking is I think I'm gonna move it down just a hair down here, and then we'll have to cut and splice to be able to extend the factory harness for it. But I mean, it's kind of weird, but there's gonna be just like this, like maybe 3 or 4 inch piece of hose here, and then it's gonna get mounted like here-ish, because where we cut in here to get the bolts for the seat, we're gonna be able to stick our fingers up there and get the nut and bolt for this new harness. Or I mean, excuse me, for this new bracket. So I'm gonna go ahead and scratch this into the frame and then get the drill out and cut it. So I got the filter and the E85 sensor harness bolted in. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here. One kid in the Facebook group said to like pull down some of the tank, you know, back it off a couple threads, it'll make it easier. Don't do that. There's plenty of room for this, the feed line in there. So I already ran it up, as you can see. Get up here and I'll turn it around for you guys. I guess you can't really see on the phone, but so you can see the light down there. And then, like I said, here's the feed. So going back under the car, what we did was we taped the return to the feed. So when I pull it, it should pull this return with it. Next on our list was, I didn't record it because you guys have probably seen it a million times, but it's taking the factory E85 sensor. What I did was I cut it up here, and then, I mean, I know they're all red, but it doesn't really matter because I'm gonna hide them in a wire loom. But we're gonna run them all the way down to here. And you can see here the end I have, like I said, I just cut. And then these are double heat wrapped, and then I'm gonna put them inside of one of these wire looms, so I'm gonna do that now. Bear with me, I know the lighting kind of sucks, but we have one of these power distribution blocks. I was looking when we pulled the factory liner, it looks like it's gonna fit like here-ish. So we're gonna go to the hardware store. We're gonna have to get 2 screws for these little holes here to actually mount it. But we're gonna wire the fuel pumps, and then this is for the ice tank. We're gonna wire all into here so it looks real nice. So, and like I said, so that way it's hidden back here, but we're gonna run to the store now and get those. All right, with the power block in, really all we have left to do is some of these fuses we have to hang up, but we can do that in a little bit. We gotta finish mounting the ice tank because I have the bolts that go through, but I just need to put the nuts on the bottom. And then honestly, I think that's basically it. We have a couple little things to button up front because we have our new coil pack brackets. from ICT we have to put in, but other than that, guys, we're about to start this.